What is up, guys? It is Kitsos from Coasterland, and today we are reviewing Kennywood. This park is one of my favorites of all time. I really love this park. We're going to talk about a few things, just kind of an open discussion style talk about it. We got everything from food to ride lineup to operations to staff. So let's just start off with ride lineup. And I'm not going to rank the coasters or rank the rides total or anything like that in this video. But what I am going to do is explain why Kennywood has one of the most unique ride lineups out there. The thing is, with Kennywood, they have at least two, one of which is on screen right now, flat rides that I don't believe you can find anywhere else. You have Turtle, which I'm not even sure the ride model name on that, and then you have Kangaroo, which again I don't know the ride model name on it. But in addition to that, you have a stacked lineup of coasters that will only get more stacked when Steel Curtain reopens. And overall, this is just going to be a fantastic park anytime you visit. Yes, I said that. I mean, yes, it's run by Palace Entertainment, a subsidiary of Parques Reunidos, which is not necessarily known for their fantastic park operations. And yeah, there are some issues with the dispatches, but let's get back to the ride lineup. So, leading the pack is the unique flat rides. I think that they offer more than the coasters do simply because you can't find them anywhere else. So if you're going to Kennywood, make sure to ride Turtle, ride the Kangaroo, ride those two because those are very rare. You also have the prototypical Zamperla Giga Discovery, or Giant Discovery, or whatever they call it. And that thing is pretty fun in Black Widow when it's operating, which it was for our last visit. I didn't take a ride this time because I didn't want to get sick, but I have ridden it the first visit I had to Kennywood. And you look into the history of this park, and some of these rides have been there, including some of the coasters, for over 100 years. Yes, Jackrabbit is 104 this year. So you got to realize this park is very historically significant. It's not just about the rides, it's about the history. They have a lot of old buildings, they have a lot of cool things, but the rides are definitely on par with the other major amusement parks in the United States. You have three great wooden coasters. You have a great steel coaster lineup, especially when Steel Curtain reopens. I'll have to get back over there at some point to give that a ride after the work is completed on it. And you just have so much variety. You have an airtime machine in Phantom's Revenge. You have a spinning coaster with Exterminator. You have a launch coaster with Skyrocket. You have three wooden coasters, all approaching or over 100 years old. I mean, you can't beat that. You just have so much. You have a good kids area for the kids. You have a river rapids. You have so much to offer here at Kennywood. And that's the great thing about Kennywood is that you just can't find this kind of ride lineup at any other amusement park. Like it's not just a good lineup, it's a well-rounded one. And that's something that I really don't see a lot. I honestly think once Steel Curtain reopens, they'll have their inversion machine. So basically, they have everything you could ever want in the park. So basically, you're looking at a well-rounded, perfectly well-rounded lineup of attractions from unique flat rides to great coasters. Now let's talk a little bit about the food. Now the food here is hit or miss, mostly hit, but a little bit miss. Like some of the basic options, like your burger, your fries, they're a little more miss. I think they were good, but they weren't great. But that's typical of an American amusement park. You don't really see fantastic basic options. But also you have the potato patch fries, which are freaking fantastic. Their French fries throughout the park are good. I think they use a similar recipe, if not the same. But you also have good sandwiches. available. I had one. It was a pastrami sandwich. Wasn't the biggest fan of it, but that's for personal reasons. I got sick on pastrami a while back, food poisoning. I guess I wanted to give it another whirl, and it just the taste brought back bad memories. But in terms of what they did to the sandwich, it was really good. So I think that it's something to look into. There's a sandwich shop over near Exterminator. And Black Widow. You also have the River Rapids, by the way, that we're looking at now. I don't, just to go into a little more detail, I don't know too terribly much about it, but I do know it is an Intamin Rapids, I believe, and it's fantastic. It's a soaker, that's for sure. But anyways, back to food. Overall, the food here is pretty solid. I give it a good 7 out of 10. Uh, just because the basic options leave something to be desired a little bit more. They were still good, but they weren't as good as some of the parks, such as like Knoebels, or even some of the Cedar Fair basic options have been stepped up recently. Like Michigan's Adventure had a great burger, believe it or not. Um, but yeah, that's basically kind of the bottom line there. So now let's move into operations. Now, ride operations, they can be a little dicey here. You end up with some great dispatches on rides like Phantom's Revenge, and then you end up with Racer, where it takes 15 to 20 minutes, it seems, to dispatch a train. It doesn't take that long, but good lord, it's freaking insane. Like, the line was out the queue, and it was not moving very fast. We'll just put it that way. Good news is they have to run 2 trains on it, so there's that at least, but it just was not moving that line. So that was a little concerning for me. But overall, it's a fantastic operationally park. I mean, most of the dispatches were pretty solid. It was just mainly Racer that was cause for concern. Everything else was doing reasonably good for an American park. I mean, obviously, if you go to Europe, you're going to see a lot better operations. But for the American side of things, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, moving on a little bit more into employees. Employees seem to be uh, caring about their jobs for the most part. There were a few that looked like they hated being there, but for the most part, the employees seemed happy with what they were doing, and that's always good to see in a park. I really enjoy seeing that as well. So, let's take a look at the park overall. Now, this is a shorter review, mainly because there's a lot to say, but not a lot of time to say it. I don't want to bore you guys, so we'll just hop right into the overall review. So, Kennywood is a fantastic park. I highly recommend it. It's good for families, it's good for thrill seekers. It has something for everyone. They also have just a great setting on the side of the mountain near the river. It's just overall a great experience. I really think Parques Reunidos and Palace Entertainment actually take care of this park. I think they do a good job of taking care of this park, and I don't want to see them change very much. Obviously, getting Steel Curtain open would be a great change, but other than that, um, they're doing a good job here. In terms of value for your money, I'd say it's worth the price of admission for sure. The tickets are not that expensive. Even the fast passes were reasonable. It's new for this year, by the way, so that's something to talk about. They just added Speedy Pass for this year, and it's doing pretty good for them, I think, because they haven't said anything about getting rid of it. So apparently it's working. We didn't have to queue very long, so it's a good system. I think Speedy Pass really works well at this park if you're looking to upgrade your day. If not, regular lines can get pretty long. That is one thing I wanted to talk about was the crowds. Crowd levels are pretty high at Kennywood. But overall, yeah, I freaking love this park. I mean, it's just so good. And out of 10, I'd give it a 9.5. The only thing it's missing is fix the operations on Racer and maybe some slightly better food options on the base level and lower the price of drinks. Geez, $5 for a drink is ridiculous. I know everywhere that's the same case, but I'll say it for every park. I'll dock half a point off of every park if I have to, except Knoebels, because Knoebels gives you a massive drink for like $5. I mean, it's great. But yeah, so that's gonna conclude my quick review. If you want a analysis of the park's history, comment below that you would like to, and maybe I would be willing to do the research and get a complete history out to you guys in a multi-part series. Till next time, peace, guys.